I think that that a good point has been raised, that it's 11:45, and an hour-and-a-half presentation would bring us to close to 12:30 at night. We would still not be in a position to deliberate at that point because we need further information from the applicant. So there's really nothing lost by deferring this and continuing this matter to the next meeting so that we can have this additional information from the applicant and we can proceed with public comment at that time, and then and to the extent that we're able to move into deliberations at that point. Our next meeting is March 11th. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is March 11th, and I would hope that the applicant would be able to gather this information before that in sufficient length of time to make it available.
Excuse me. That was not our understanding. Again, when we requested a special meeting in January, I was stated that we could always schedule a special meeting in February. So now we're hearing that we will not be on that agenda. I'm hearing we want to review soils reports that have been in the village for 4 years. They're not part of this process. They're part of the permitting review. The building has been designed in accordance with the soils reports. Unless there's a geotech expert on the board or on staff, I don't know what good that's going to do. The traffic study, I'm still, while we're not opposed to doing it, I don't know whether or not I'm required. I'm going to seek counsel on that. Again, HMS's concerns are all valid. They'll be handled during construction. I don't know it's part of this. You still have the viability issue. In light of all that, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like the direction it's heading. I'm demanding a vote.
You don't have the right to demand a vote.
Then I am respectfully requesting a vote now.
I guess
I think that's
what?
Well, I don't think that's a very good idea for Mr. Gammonley.
I'm going to tell you this, that just I have just a couple of things to say. That the Plan Commission is trying to, and I'm going to read from just a couple notes here. We're trying to live up to our responsibility to be prudent, cautious, and methodical. It's important that we retain independence from the trustees, and that in this review process and the integrity of this review process. In my opinion, the applicant has pretty much disregarded us and said that what we do here tonight doesn't really matter. Mr. Gammonley lives in Hinsdale for a good reason. He's a good businessman. He's not giving anything away. He is talking about needing a compromise, about the parking issue. We should be as good businessmen as Mr. Gammonley. We've given away a lot, and because of our naivety, let's not make the same mistake here. This is a critical decision. We're not in a hurry. Let's take our time. This is not the best they can do. This is the best they can do for us. This is the best they can do for them. Now, I read these comments to you because they are from July 14th of 2004, when I was just starting my chairmanship of the Plan Commission, and this first came before us. And it strikes me as so ironic that here we are this many years later with this plan, and I realize that, Mr. Gammonley, you look at this and feel as if this has been around forever and ever, and you've gone through these many steps in the process. Unfortunately, that isn't that isn't my fault, that isn't the village's fault. That's the fault of many things that have happened, and many of those are your fault. And it isn't our role here simply to rubber stamp your project so that you can move it forward to the trustees, where you apparently feel that you have the votes to get this project approved. It bastardizes this entire process. What is the purpose of this commission? It just is incredible to me that you are forcing us to take a vote on something that we haven't even completed hearing public comment on at this point. I understand that for the downtown merchants and for the business district, that putting something at this corner is important, and I am completely in agreement with that aspect of this project. All I'm saying is that we need to go through the proper steps, and you are eliminating one of the fundamental steps by stating that you would force a vote of our body before we've completed the process.
This was such an important project. Why didn't we have a special meeting in January when I requested it? If it was so important, why couldn't we, after that January 11th meeting, have just held a special meeting and done it? I don't necessarily believe
Mr.
that.
Gammonley, with all due respect, we're sitting here tonight, and traffic is a listed criteria, for example, for both site plan and exterior approval, and you don't have any evidence to offer on that.
I have a traffic study from 2004 that was submitted. It was already submitted. It's in there. I mean, I'll get you another copy.
But we don't have it.
Right, and it was done, if it allegedly done, during the time.
I understand that, but there are timelines to be met, and unfortunately, again, we respectfully request a vote. Thank you.
I would reiterate again, you are the gatekeepers. All projects come to you first. The community depends on you. You are us. The Board of Trustees depends upon you. They are not experts in design. They are not experts in construction. They are not experts in the zoning code. I just want to echo what Neil and Laura have said. The process has to go full course so that whatever the results are at Plan Commission, at least the board has the benefit of your full deliberations on it that they can look at when they make up their minds. If a vote is, I don't even know if a vote's able to be forced, but if in fact it is, I would ask that each of you abstain so that there is no vote, and we take this up at another time. Thank you very much.
And that's just a further example of the machinations that lead to more legality.
Ken, from a legal perspective, can the
Someone's gotta
applicant require a vote?
Sorry.
I would ask that Mr. Gammonley discontinue using the legal threats. We are in court with Mr. Gammonley on Garfield 1 and Garfield 2. So far, it hasn't gone very well for him. There's been some conversation that this building will be the compromise so that then that lawsuit can be disbanded with. I socialized with the 3 plaintiffs on that case. I know what's in their minds. They have instructed their attorneys to tell the judge in Wheaton once and for all, there is no discussion going on a compromise. We want a final verdict. And then Mr. Gammonley has the ability to appeal within 30 days. Thank you very much.
I think you had a good question, I think, to counsel for the village.
And again, there are no
Just a minute, please.
there are no legal threats here, but again, I don't need Mr. Bonet's comments to tell me what we need to do.
Okay.
Does he have the right to demand a vote of the commission at this stage?
He can request it, but you have no obligation to do so.
Okay. Is there a
Move to
motion?
adjourn.
Okay, can I have a
Second.
second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.